Question. When we graduate from Earth, do we become one with our higher self, or will we always be a projection of our higher self? Do we ever become completely one with our higher self? Okay, so if you're not familiar with the background for the question, what I have explained in many videos is that we have a higher self which exists in a higher level of vibration. We can call it the spiritual realm. And we can also call this the spiritual self or the I Am Presence. And this I Am Presence is a very complex individual being. It has a very beautiful, unique individuality for each one of us that is not easy to create. The I Am Presence in its totality can't take embodiment on Earth. Partly because Earth is an unnatural planet, but partly because we are in an unascended sphere. I explained this in my video about how the world was created. So the I Am Presence sends an extension of itself to take embodiment. And the purpose of this is that the I Am Presence wants to experience what life on Earth is like from the inside. I mean, right now the I Am Presence is in the spiritual realm, can see it from a bird's eye perspective. But it also wants to experience from the inside, so it sends an extension of itself. But also because the I Am Presence wants to do certain of the things that can be done on Earth. As I explained, we are originally meant to be co-creators. We have co-creative abilities to bring forth something that isn't there. So this is part of the motivation why the I Am Presence sends us down. And what the I Am Presence sends down is what I call the conscious you, which doesn't have any personality. It's really like a neutral state of awareness, a pure awareness. It's just basically like you are looking from a certain vantage point. As I've said before, if you and I were sitting across from each other, you're looking at me from your vantage point, I'm looking at you from my vantage point. We can't switch vantage points because we both have a unique center for looking at the world, and that's the conscious you. Now, we also have an outer personality, as I explained in the there are 4 levels of it, depending on the vibration. So the highest is our sense of identity. Then there's the mental realm where we are thinking, the emotional realm, obviously our feelings, and then the physical where we operate the physical body. And that's the outer personality. And so this is not who we really are. I mean, who we really are, when the questioner asks, when we graduate from Earth, do we become one with our higher self? And the we that becomes one with the higher self is not the outer personality, it's the conscious you. Jesus actually said 2,000 years ago, only the being who descended from heaven can ascend back to heaven. And that's the conscious you. So what I explain is, in order to descend into embodiment, we are creating structures in our identity, mental and emotional minds that help us integrate with the physical body. As we are in embodiment, we also create structures in those levels of the mind, which is what I call subconscious selves, which we create in reaction to traumatic or difficult situations on Earth. So right now, we have been in embodiment many, many times on Earth, so we have created this very complex structure in the 4 levels of the mind. That's the outer personality. And that outer personality cannot ascend. It was just something created in reaction to Earth, and we need to dissolve these subconscious selves, dissolve that personality before we are free to ascend. So in other words, you can say that the I Am Presence sent the conscious you down to experience life on Earth. And the conscious you experiences life on Earth through the outer personality and all these structures. But in order to be free to ascend, the conscious you has to gradually, consciously let go of these structures. Say, okay, I've had enough of that experience. I don't want to have this separate self anymore. I'm letting it die. And you gradually do this until you are free. You have dissolved them all, and now you can ascend. And so here is the conscious you returning to its original state of innocence as the pure awareness. And from that state of innocence, you ascend and merge into the I Am Presence. It's difficult to describe the process with words, but do we become one with our higher self? Yes, that's one way to describe it. It's not the only way, because words they can be interpreted here. And so the important thing is to realize that right now, you can't really fathom what it means when you ascend. It's difficult to put words on it because you're doing it at a distance. But there will be a point where you experience it, and then all the words fade away. So you can say, do we become one with our higher self? Yes. Will we always be a projection of our higher self? No. Do we ever become completely one with our higher self? Yes, in the ascension, you become completely one with your higher self. The distinction between you and the higher self dissolves. It's just not there anymore. You see yourself as the I am presence. I am presence.